Let's face it, Ted Cruz has always been one of the most disgusting creatures serving in the United States Senate. In fact, probably in all of Congress in our recent sessions. And he has somehow managed to find a way to make himself even more disgusting than he had previously been in the past. Here's what happened. Last week, Ted Cruz gives an interview to the Huffington Post where he suggested that the Capitol Rioters who have been arrested are somehow being politically persecuted by the Biden administration and the Biden Department of Justice. So far, 570 individuals have been charged. Charges ranging from conspiracy, destruction of property, and all the way down to the smaller ones of just trespassing on federal property. But the folks who have been arrested are the ones who physically entered that building, or if they did not physically enter the property, then they were assaulting police officers outside in the street. There are no political persecutions taking place right now. And even though Ted Cruz and, of course, Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Jim Jordan all want to say that these are political prisoners, they are not. And there is no evidence, by the way, to also suggest that any of them are being mistreated in prison. If anything, a lot of the people are ending up getting off lightly, according to the judges who are overseeing the cases. They're wondering why prosecutors aren't hitting them with the charges that they should have filed against them. So that alone, the judges saying like, wait a minute, why aren't we hitting these people with real charges? We're letting them off too lightly. That alone disproves Ted Cruz's idiotic talking point. But here's the thing, and I actually went into this in detail the other day on Ring of Fire, but I want to spend more time on it here because there is something truly interesting happening. Now, as I mentioned, Ted Cruz has always been a disgusting character. Both people on the left and right actually agree on that. And the reason we know that is because all the way back when Ted Cruz was working on the Bush v. Gore challenge on behalf of the Bush campaign, he was one of their lawyers, he didn't get a job in the Bush administration because nobody actually liked him. They all thought he was this weird and creepy guy that nobody wanted to spend any time with. So that's why, in spite of his work to get George Bush installed as president, Ted Cruz was left out of the administration and forced to run for Senate, where he found success, obviously, in the state of Texas. His loyalty to Bush there obviously paid off. But Ted Cruz has always struggled when it comes to national support. He got trounced by Donald Trump in the 2016 Republican primaries, even though he was, the golden boy of the GOP. They thought he was going to be the guy. And at one point, during a debate not long after that, after the 2016 election in, I think it was 2017, he had a debate with Bernie Sanders on live TV about universal health care here in the United States, where Ted Cruz was not as slimy and disgusting as he usually is. He actually managed to, even though he was lying, come across as somebody who knows what he's talking about. Again, even though he was lying. And in those short 4 years since then, the de-evolution of Ted Cruz has really just been put on steroids. Because rather than trying to come across as the smart, politically savvy strategist who knows how policy works, Ted Cruz has now morphed into the pandering, disgusting, talking point spewing Republican that has become all too common in the party today. He has decided that in order to further his political career, because the dude still has presidential ambitions, he is definitely going to be running again in 2024. I have no doubt about that. But he thinks in order to win, he has to go down to their level. And that's why he came out and made this idiotic statement defending these Capitol rioters. Because he sees people like Matt Gaetz do it, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Jim Jordan, and Mo Brooks. And he thinks, okay, well, that's what I have to be now. Because he is an opportunist, a cowardly opportunist. Kind of the worst of the worst of a chameleon trying to change to blend in with whatever he thinks the direction of the Republican Party is on that given day. Ted Cruz has no real beliefs. Ted Cruz has no real personality. Ted Cruz has no real ideas, so he continues to shift around and morph into whatever he thinks is going to be politically expedient for him. That is why he did that interview. That is why he said those things. And if this is any indication of where Ted Cruz is heading, then my prediction is we haven't even seen the worst of him yet. And that is a pretty terrifying thought.